Alrighty guys, welcome back to the podcast. Hopefully you guys been enjoying the past few videos, like the content I've been making about the boxing fights and all that stuff. We'll go further into like basketball and stuff like that once the playoffs start coming in and stuff. But right now we're just focusing on MMA, UFC, and boxing because there's a lot of good stuff happening, a lot of good fights coming up. So hopefully you guys been enjoying the content. As you all know, tomorrow's a big day. We got the Adesanya Pereira fight tomorrow in Las Vegas, I believe. So that'll be a good... No, not in Las Vegas. It's in Miami. So for UFC 287, hopefully you guys are getting ready to watch that. We're making the predictions here, looking at what's going to happen, who's coming out on top. Will Adesanya get revenge over Pereira and beat him this time, as he was very close last time beating him at the end of the first round there. But the bell saved Pereira, and then a couple of mistakes cost Adesanya the fight. But we're looking forward to for the rematch. Hopefully, Adesanya comes out and brings everything on top, because there's a lot on the line for him if he were to lose. I think it might be the end of the three kings if he loses. As Usman, Ngannou, Adesanya might go out, but we'll see. Hopefully it's a good fight. Usually when it's some of these fights, big fights, they're not as exciting as they are normally, because everyone's like very cautious. Everyone's playing defense. They want to get caught. So at the same time, I'm happy, but at the same time, I'm a little worried that it's two big names on paper. It's big names. Looks like it's gonna be a good fight, but once they get in there, usually there's no action. That's kind of what we saw with Adesanya and his past fight before Pereira, where we were seeing just a little bit of going the distance and not much action during the fight. Everyone was a little worried of who's gonna hit who. They didn't want anyone dropping, so it's kind of made for a boring fight. As for us, there was not a lot of action and no knockouts or anything. So hopefully it doesn't happen this fight like it has with the past with Adesanya, but hopefully we actually get a good show, action-packed rounds with a lot of action in each round, and hopefully, there is a few rounds, but hopefully there's a knockout or something exciting, I want to see someone get laid out, or at least get choked out or something like that, but we're ready for it. As Adesanya is like 0-3 against Pereira, with his... Here in the UFC, he's lost once against him last fight. And then, before that, when they were doing in the kickboxing, I believe, Pereira got the best out of Adesanya as well there twice, or once as well, but we'll see. They're fighting for the middleweight championship of the world for UFC 287 tomorrow, 9 p.m. Adesanya looks to get his belt back, get some revenge. Alex Pereira looks to keep the belt, as it was his first time getting the belt in the middleweight division. But the Style Bender is looking for revenge. That's what we're looking at in this fight. The Style Bender is looking to get his belt back here at the age of 33 years old. So he's kind of nearing the end of his career, but he's still got a lot of in him. So I believe he can get the belt back. If he does, who will we fight next? I'm not sure. If Alex Pereira wins, he moves up to 8-1 in his UFC career. And who knows who will fight after that, There's a lot of people in that division, in the middleweight division, who are very good. So we'll just have to wait and see what they set up for him, what Dana White is feeling setting up for him. But, I got a lot of faith that whoever wins in this fight, it'll be a show that will not end until one of them is done. And there'll be a lot of good action fights as well. But this whole card is filled up with good fighters, As you already know, Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya, main event, action-packed. So hopefully we get something like that. But right underneath him, the co-main event is also going to be interesting to see, as we have Gilbert Burns and George Masvidal going at it against each other in the welterweight division. As you know, the welterweight division is stacked. A lot of action in there, a lot of good fighters coming from that division, but George Masvidal looks to get back into his winning ways, as he took some losses here and there in the past few years, and Gilbert Burns has been on the tear lately. showing his dominance still, that he still got it with his last fight, even though he lost a few against Cosma, but that was a good fight, hell of a fight that he gave him. So I'm excited to see this. I got Gilbert Burns winning that fight just because he's he looks way heavier, he's a little more built. He knows how to fight on the ground and on top. A lot of power in those punches. I really think if he gets 1 or 2 good punches, he can take care of Masvidal and put him away for good early here in the round. But you never know with Masvidal. He always comes out with some surprises, so we can't underestimate him. But I got Gilbert Burns on that one. And then we also have Rob Font against Adrian Yanez in the bantamweight division. Adrian Yanez has been coming out, having a lot of good fights, action-packed as well. He's been bringing the fights lately. 16-3 going against Rob Font. He's a favorite, so hopefully he puts on an action-packed fight as he always does. We like to see him hold the belt one of these days, so hopefully he gets a chance because he's a really good fighter. On the next fight, we have Kevin Holland and Santiago Ponzinibbio. A lot of people got Ponzinibbio, but I'm not sure. I think, it's a tough pick because Kevin Holland did get taken care of by Cosma and another fighter who was not really that known as well, but we'll see. Another good fight as well. I mean, this whole card is packed with fights, as well as in the bantamweight division with Raul Rosas Jr. 7-0 as the 18-year-old who's coming in hot into the UFC to make a name for himself in the weight division, in the bantamweight division, against Christian Rodriguez. It's going to be a tough fight for him. I think he'll take the dub. I think Raul Rosas has a lot. He has the wrestling and he has the ability to box, stand up fighting. So we'll see though. But this card is action-packed, a lot of good fighters. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but I got Adesanya winning this one. I got Gilbert Burns winning. Adrian Yanez. With the Kevin Holland and Santiago, I'm not really quite sure there because they've both been up and down, but I'm gonna call that whoever wins. I'm not really in the mix there. I don't really care, but as long as they give us a good fight the next time they fight again against someone better. But I don't really have anyone winning that. I'm not sure who's going to win out of those two. But in the bantamweight division, Raul Rosas, I got Raul Rosas Jr. winning against Christian Rodriguez. Young talent. He's coming in. He's hungry. He's looking to take care of business and looking to become one of the best in the UFC here in the foreseeable future. And at such a young age as well. He's barely 18 or 19 years old. So he's learning a lot. He has a lot of mentors who are teaching him different stuff. So I think he's just going to be a great one, an all-time great once it's all said and done for him. But in the preliminaries, we got a lot of good fighters as well. A lot of good fights. We got a couple canceled here. Not sure why, but we have Carl Williams against Chase Sherman in the heavyweight division. We'll see who comes out on top there, but I think I got Carl Williams, even though he's not as experienced as Chase Sherman. I got Carl Williams. I think that's about it, but it is an action-packed card for UFC 287. A lot of action. With Pereira and Adesanya, that does not get any better. As we always know, those guys put on a show, but we have to see. As we saw in their last fight, it was action-packed the whole way. All the way up till the 5th round when Adesanya got knocked out. Technical knockout. It was action-packed. They were both going at it back and forth from the first round. Adesanya almost dropped Pereira in the first round at the end of the first round. Second, third, fourth round were crazy action-packed. They're both going at it, throwing punches, throwing kicks. I think the leg kicks might have gotten Adesanya there at the end. Kind of a little worn out through the legs and might have caused a little bit of the knockout that happened there at the end. But action-packed the first fight. So we'll see if they bring in that same energy into this fight. And it's one gain, one loss. Alex Pereira wins, he will continue to dominate in the middleweight division. If Israel Adesanya loses, it might be the end of him. who knows? But both tremendously talented, good fighters. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm really ready for that Gilbert Burns George Masvidal fight, because that's an action pack right there. That'll be a show that's a good cold main event that we'll be waiting for. As Gilbert Burns always puts on a show for us, especially with what he did with Cosmo. He murdered. He made a painting out of that guy's face. And in my opinion, he should have won that one, but he will make a mess of George Masvidal, I believe. But overall, good card. They're fighting out in Miami, Florida at the Queso Center where the Heat play tomorrow, Saturday, April 8th. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens after these fights. But good fights heading in. Adesanya with only 2 losses. Alex Pereira only with 1 loss, but that was at the very beginning of their careers. And we'll just have to wait and see. But can Adesanya get the belt back against Pereira? We'll wait and see. Let's check here. What the fans have. Who they have winning. Let's see. We have a lot of the predictors here saying Adesanya might win. A lot of people saying Burns as well, which is what I'm telling you guys. But you never know in these fights. You can always predict and stuff, but you just never know what's going to happen. They will put on a show no matter what. Each fighter, they're going in to take what's theirs. But we'll just have to wait and see. And coming into this fight, Pereira is the underdog at the betting window. Adesanya is a favorite at -150. So it's crazy to see that people still got Adesanya as a favorite, even though Pereira has beaten him 3 times, and he's currently the champion, and they still have him as underdog. And from either Gilbert Burns or George Masvidal, they're both looking at winning. Whoever wins from those, they're looking at trying to fight Colby Covington, so they can get a chance at challenging the champion Leon Edwards. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think if Burns wins, he could easily dominate Colby Covington and easily take the belt from Leon Edwards. But we'll just have to wait and see until that happens. See who wins from these two. If they get to fight Colby Covington, and then whoever wins from there fights the champion. But you never know, so we'll just have to take it step by step. But I think there's a good chance Gilbert Burns can take care of George Masvidal and Colby Covington and Leon Edwards, I believe. So he can be the champion here in the near future, maybe by the end of the year. Let me know your guys' thoughts. And yeah, I think that's about it for this podcast, guys. I just wanted to come on here and make a little bit of predictions here for Adesanya and Pereira. Action-packed fight with Gilbert Burns, George Masvidal as a co-main event. Adrian Yanez, Rob Font, Kevin Holland, Santiago Ponzimbo, Christian Rodriguez against the young phenom Raul Rosas Jr. Let me know what your guys' predictions here at the bottom of the comment section. Remember, if you'd like to see these videos, MMA, boxing, basketball, football here in the near future, hit a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you guys like seeing this stuff. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see what tomorrow waits for us for the UFC 287, but for sure it'll be a good fight. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.